All right, welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to take a journey, but not just any journey. We're going back to the very beginning. I mean, not just the beginning of our universe, but to a time before it even existed. We're going to dive deep into the cosmic blueprint as it's understood in Islamic theology.
So let's start with this. Just let this sink in for a second. 50,000 years. That's how long before the heavens and the earth were even a thing. A plan was already being put into motion. This one statement, wow, it just sets this incredible, almost mind-bending scale for everything we're about to talk about.
Okay, so this 50,000-year head start, it points us to a really central concept called al-Qadar, or divine decree. And look, this isn't some vague, fuzzy idea. We're talking about the belief in a detailed, super deliberate plan for everything that would ever exist. The idea is that all of reality, I mean everything, from the way galaxies spin to the tiniest little things that happen in our day, it's all following a kind of divine script written ages and ages ago.
You know, it's pretty amazing. That one single sentence is like a key that unlocks these 5 foundational points. We're going to touch on the sheer scale of divine knowledge, the nature of creation itself, and even how this grand design can actually bring a sense of peace. So think of these as our roadmap for the rest of this explainer.
So, with a plan this huge, where do you even start? Well, we start with the first piece of physical creation mentioned in that opening statement, the divine throne. This is described as the absolute highest point of all creation.
Now, it's really important to get this straight. ARSH, the throne, it's not just some kind of fancy chair in the sky. Not at all. It represents the very boundary, the absolute peak of the entire created universe. It's the ultimate symbol of God's absolute power and sovereignty.
And the existence of this throne, it draws a really clear line in the sand, you know? On one side, you've got the Creator, completely independent, doesn't need anything. And on the other side, well, that's everything else, the entire creation. And it's all totally dependent. It's finite, and it's bound by the measures or the rules that were ordained for it.
But here's the thing. This highest realm, it isn't some static, empty space. No way. It is absolutely bustling with activity, and it's inhabited by some of the most powerful beings you can possibly imagine.
Yeah, the Quran itself tells us about these specific angels who have this unbelievable job. They actually bear the divine throne. The word used to describe them is mighty, but what mighty means in this context, well, the scale is just something else.
So you've got to wonder, right? Just how vast are these beings?
Get ready for this number. 700 years. Just let that sink in for a minute. 700 years. I mean, what kind of journey takes that long?
Well, that's how long it would take to travel between a single angel's earlobe and its shoulder. A 700-year journey. Just think about that. If that's the scale of just one of the beings holding up the throne, can you even begin to wrap your head around the sheer majesty of the throne itself? But what's really fascinating is that these immense beings, they aren't just cosmic pillars holding things up. They're in a constant state of glorifying their Lord. And get this, they're described as actively praying for believers down here on earth, asking for forgiveness on their behalf. How incredible is that?
Okay, so we've looked at the 50,000-year plan. We've seen the throne. We've even met its mind-bogglingly huge bearers. But what's the guiding principle here? What's the one message that governs this whole majestic scene?
It turns out there's something written down, a book, a record, located above the throne itself, above the highest point of creation, and in it is the single most important principle of existence, the one statement that defines God's entire relationship with the universe He created.
And here it is. This is the central message, the governing principle for everything. Indeed, my mercy prevails over my wrath. Written after creation was all done, this statement establishes that mercy, it outweighs and overcomes wrath. You could say it's the default setting for the entire cosmos. And if you look closer, it's brilliant how it all fits together. You have the timing, the location, and the content itself. The fact that it was written after creation was finished makes mercy the foundational guiding principle of existence. Its location, above the throne, gives it supreme status over everything. And the content? It's a direct, divine promise that mercy is the dominant force. It all works together perfectly.
So we've journeyed all the way out to the highest point of the cosmos, right? We've talked about this principle on an absolutely unimaginable scale.
But now, let's bring it all the way back home. Let's make this personal.
So on one hand, you have this picture of mercy as this vast, majestic, cosmic law. It's written above the throne. It's borne by angels who are a 700-year journey from earlobe to shoulder. It all feels so grand, almost distant.
But then you get a verse like this, and it just offers this stunning, beautiful contrast. It completely shifts the perspective in a heartbeat from all that cosmic majesty to something deeply, profoundly personal and intimate.
And that's the ultimate takeaway, isn't it? That the very same mercy is also intimately near. There's no barrier between you and it, the God of that unbelievably immense throne, whose mercy is literally the law of the cosmos, is also the one who says, I am truly near, responding directly when you call. The grandest, most powerful principle in the entire universe is also the most personal one you can experience.
So, that leaves us with a final thought to chew on. How does knowing this change things? How does it change our perspective on our own lives, knowing that the universe is governed by a mercy that is both majestically, cosmically huge, and at the same time, intimately near and personal, with no barrier between you and it?